The penultimate round for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series World Championship is here. 3 drivers, 2 races, only 1 world champion. The top 35 dirt sim racers on the planet will be put to the ultimate test here tonight at the ultra-technical Weedsport Speedway here in Weedsport, New York. Who's your pick to win it all next week and take home the $10,000 top prize? Will it be Alex Bergeron, Cameron Merriman, or James Edens? 3 series veterans, all vying for the most prestigious championship in all of dirt sim racing. Good evening to all of our viewers watching across the world tonight on all of iRacing's various social media platforms, along with DirtVision.com. My name is Chase Rodman, ready for another great night of racing action. Joined in the booth tonight by Justin Prince. JP, tonight at the port, easily the most intriguing track shape we see on the Outlaw schedule. So many different lines to run, especially in 1 and 2 tonight.
And as we've seen the last time this series came here back in the 2020-21 season, there's the chance for different players to come on forward. Cameron Merriman, remember, won his first race at this racetrack back in round 6. This was a track where a lot of drivers were able to change up their lines, but it was also not the easiest circuit with how difficult running the cushion is, especially along the edges of turns 3 and 4. That's going to be a major thought process tonight, especially since some of the drivers who contended last time here are contenders for this year's title with so much at stake.
Speaking about that title, here are the championship point standings with 2 races left to run. Alex Bergeron trying to become a 4-time World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series champion on iRacing, but he's got a slim 4-point margin over the number 17 of Cameron Merriman and just 19 points back to the 52 car of James Edens. Like I said earlier, all 3 of those drivers have been in this series for quite some time now. Obviously, Bergeron, the multi-time series champion, and Merriman, after last week, could have been leading by a long shot there, Justin, but a mistake coming to the white flag while leading the race took him out, and that sets us up here with a very close point battle at Weedsport.
And it was described by some of the drivers he has started to work with for this major championship push to try and get himself in striking distance in the first place. For Cameron Merriman, it's a question of what if. But the thing is, you can't get yourself stuck in your head on that regard, Chase, especially knowing you make a mistake tonight, either of them in the top 2, James Edens will pick up the pieces.
Absolutely. Well, here we go. Heat race number 1 on the pole here tonight. Quick time qualifier. It's going to be the driver out of Franklin, Pennsylvania. Car number 5 of Braden Eiler. And to the outside of him, the most recent winner with the series back at Fairbury at Chesney, South Carolina. It's the 33 of Evan C.
One of the drivers looking for some luck to close out the season is based out of Greenfield, Indiana. It is the shooting star. It is Rylan Gray. He'll start alongside a very quick driver here the last time. From Mount Airy, North Carolina, it is King Smooth. It's Kendall Tucker.
Row 3 on the inside, the 5th starters from Londonderry, Sydney, Australia. It's the Supreme Poultry number 76 of Braden Shute. And to the outside of him, currently 3rd in the Outlaw point standings from Santa Rosa, California, the K1 race gear number 52. That's James Eden starting from 6th.
And our fellow Californian drives from the next row. First window speed lap, that is Adam Elby starting behind a teammate, while Shea Powell will try and start from the end of the pack for tonight in number 69 to close out the grid from Hanford, California.
The cars start to roll off from the starting grid, and we talked about the point standings. How about we take a look at the way these drivers will earn points throughout the night of racing here. They earn points every time they are on the racetrack, with the exception of qualifying. In these heat races, the winner will get 8 points, and then 1 point thereafter, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then if you can make the feature event, you'll get 70 points for the win, 3 points their position, every position after that through the top 10, and then after that it's 2 points from 11th through 20th. And if the drivers do not make the feature, if they're stuck in an LCS, they don't get any points at all. So for a guy like James Edens here, 3rd in the standings, Justin, starting outside row 3, he's really got to get up on the wheel here and get himself in contention for at least a top 5 finish here tonight, I'd say.
Remember, Edens has showed he's usually strongest on the long run. For many of the rounds this season, especially the ones where he took the checker flag in feature competition, if you're James Edens, you just have to be able to pick your spots right now, because we know he's got good speed. It's just about finding the right spot. The tough part is he's got several quick drivers who are also in this heat. It's going to be very difficult to get to top 4.
Well, we're underway here. First heat race of the night here at the Weedsport Speedway for the almost final round. The second to last round here for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series is green. It's going to be Braden Eiler out to the early race lead in car number 5 over Evan C. Here's the race for the 4th spot. James Edens to the inside of Rylan Gray. Moved the 52 car into the final transfer spot, but just like that, Rylan Gray takes it right back down the back straightaway.
I think if you're Rylan Gray, you don't make it easy. James Edens has the great speed, yes, especially if you're trying to hold on for this line. But Rylan Gray is looking to make another feature. It's been a rough season for the 06. He's got the pull down the back. Gray is clear once again. Braden Shute trying to take advantage and takes away Edens' line.
And James Edens ran the top real nice right there in turns 3 and 4. Now tries the bottom. Rylan Gray bounces off the wall. That's going to give the 4th spot to James Edens. Move the 52 into the final transfer spot. But it's going to be tough sledding from here, Justin. If he can catch up to Kendall Tucker, that is going to be a power move. That's going to show how much speed that car has. But right now, I really think it's going to be tough for him to get up there and challenge for 3rd.
Especially since he needs to close up about 7/10 of a second to get up there. And already looking early on, joining the field preferring the cushion. Rylan Gray, keep in mind, has dropped back to 6th as well. Keep in mind, if Eden starts making mistakes, Braden Shute could be there to try and capitalize. Remember, the 76 has been fast all year.
Yeah, Braden Shute has gotten by Rylan Gray. He's up to 5th, but 1 spot shy of a transfer position. Rylan Gray back in 6th position. 7th is Adam Elby, and 8th at the moment, the number 69 of Shea Pallow. Up front, a dominating performance here in this one. Behind the number 5 of Braden Eiler, a 1.1 second lead the last time by. As they come around this time by for 2 laps to go, it looks like it's Eiler's race to lose here, as Edens really closing the gap on Tucker here right on the front straightaway.
Wouldn't be surprised to see this swap around here with the 00 starting to struggle along that top all of a sudden. Will there be the full move is the question, or will it happen towards the final time around? White flag now up in the stand. As the lead has gone away, something's happened to Eiler.
Yeah, Eiler might have ran out of fuel or didn't put enough fuel into this thing. Here comes Evan C., the final corner, tries the slide job. He's going to go up the racetrack and take the win on the last corner. Evan C. slides in front of Braden Eiler coming off of turn number 4. Eiler runs into the back of Evan C., and C will take the win in heat race number 1. Eiler 2nd, Tucker 3rd, and Edens in 4th. Those will be the 4 drivers heading straight to the main event. Behind them, Braden Shute, Rylan Gray, Shea Pallow, and Adam Elby. Wow. That was interesting to start off our heat races here tonight, as we've got 3 more left to run. Here's the lineup for heat race number 2. And on the pole, it's the driver currently 2nd in the point standings from Ellicott City, Maryland. It's the number 17 of Cameron Merriman. To the outside of him, number 25 out of Castleton, Vermont, it's going to be Tyler Ducharme starting from 2nd.
Next up, driving from Asheville, New York, a home state driver, in fact, it's Blake Majolis. He'll start alongside one of the Quebec-based drivers in the field, Felix Hollywood Roy.
Row 3 on the inside, car number 99, that's Gregory LeMay out of Reading, Pennsylvania. And to the outside of him, the 48, Dylan Yeager from Hamilton Township, New Jersey.
Right on behind this time, Chris Sabeski will start from West St. Paul, Manitoba, Canada. And rounding out the field for this one, the number 86 machine, that driver, Timothy Smith from the state of Missouri. And one thing to note quickly, Chase, is just look back at the tape, and essentially, for those wondering what happened to Eiler, he hit the wall coming to the white flag, cost him a second alone right there.
Yeah, and that cost him the win here in heat race number 1 there. Evan C. looking to go back-to-back with feature victories here with the series. And real quick, we do have one more pace lap. We talk about the point standings and all that stuff. If you're there watching this for the first time wondering what all that means, well, they're going for a $10,000 championship. We've got the prizes here. Every race, $300 to win, $200 for 2nd, and $100 for 3rd. The championship right there, $10,000 to win, $4,000 for 2nd, $2,000, $1,500. If you're in the top 10, you're making some money. So when we talk about the point standings, Justin, that's why it's so important right there. That, for some of these guys, could be some pretty big money.
It could be some huge money, let's put it that way. And as talked about in the past and throughout the season, it can go a long way to make sure some drivers can race in the real world, as well as maybe upgrade some stuff virtually and whatnot. But it's going to be an important one here. Cameron Merriman is on the gas. Green flag is out. A big launch for the 17.
Yeah, this is a huge heat race right here for Cameron Merriman. Obviously, we talked about it earlier. Only one race has ever been ran here with the series at Weedsport Speedway. It was Merriman going to victory lane, his first ever victory with the series, and right now out to a pretty comfortable lead over Tyler Ducharme, Blake Majulis, and Felix Roy. Those are the 4 cars in transfer spots. Chris Sabetsky up early from 7th to 5th early on in this heat race, trying to catch up to Felix Roy and take away that final transfer spot.
Of note, one driver did not take the green flag. That was Jeremy St. Louis, who did not get rolling off the starting grid, unfortunately, for the one machine, so looking like the one may have some technical issues. But behind the leaders, it's the battle for the bubble spot. Sabetsky wants a chance for 4th. Roy wants to hold on. He tries to do so in the 091 and does for now, but a contact around him.
We talked about it at the top of the show. This racetrack, especially in turns 1 and 2, can provide for so many different racing lines. You could slide yourself, you can run a diamond line, you can run the top, and we're going to see that come in more and more as the track slicks off. Now a race for 5th. Here comes Gregory LeMay to the inside of Sabetsky. Can't make the pass there. It looks like they're both catching up to Felix Roy, though. While that's happening, a race for 2nd starting to develop as well. The 25 with Tyler Ducharme, feeling a little bit of pressure here from the 127 of Blake Majulis.
They're getting a little dicey, though, behind still. LeMay just got pushed nearly up to the wall you just seen by Sabetsky. All of that was while Dylan Yeager drove by them like they were standing still. Battle is on for 4th, 3 to go. Dylan Yeager, who started the back for this heat, he's found some pace after struggling for the first 4 laps.
Yeah, Yeager's got the bottom of the racetrack rolling. Now he's up alongside of Felix Roy, trying to take that final transfer spot away. Up in front of them, almost side by side for 2nd as well. But Yeager trying to work the inside of the racetrack with 2 laps to go. Can he make it by Felix Roy and punch his ticket straight into the feature event? No one wants to run an LCS here. Watch that 91 of Roy, going to drive the wheels off this thing, trying to hang on to it for the final lap.
Bad run for Yeager off the corner, though. Merriman, keep in mind, leads by already nearly 2 seconds. A bad run off the corner, though, for Roy. Side by side, 2 rows deep for the final corner. Make it 3 wide.
Almost 4 wide, and then a wreck across the line. We're going to have to take a look at the finishing results for that one. It looks like Blake Majulis just barely 12 one-thousandths of a second, actually 22 one-thousandths of a second, was the difference there from 2nd to 3rd. It was Majulis over Ducharme, and Dylan Yeager actually getting by Felix Roy on the final corner to take home that final transfer spot. Felix Roy, Chris Sabetsky, Gregory LeMay, and Jeremy St. Louis will all head off to one of those 2 last chance qualifiers later on tonight. Now getting ready for heat race number 3 on the pole. It's a number 07. That's Hayden Cardwell out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And to the outside of him, the 18 of Austin Sellerman. He's from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.
Right on behind, from Bakersfield, California, it's J.D. Hollywood Brown. Starting alongside him tonight will be a driver with real-world experience from Manchester, Pennsylvania, Logan Rumsey.
Row 3 inside, the 5th starter is going to be Aiden Beerline from Woodford, Virginia. And to the outside of him from Rocheport, Missouri, the 86 is Timothy Smith, starting from 6th.
A well-known driver throughout this grid and throughout this season has been the number 51 machine. That's driven by Clayton Tilley, who is from Perth, Australia. And rounding out the drivers in this one of the drivers who did not put in a qualifying time, Dover, Pennsylvania's David Allen.
An interesting way to start out these heat races here, Justin, is talking about the 3 championship contenders. James Edens finishes up 4th in his heat race. He's going to start around, I would say, the 14th position for tonight's main event. Cameron Merriman, obviously winning heat race number 2. He will start outside the front row for the feature. And then Alex Bergeron, the current points leader, he's going to start 3rd in this next heat race. He's going to have to get up on the wheel because Merriman has kind of set the bar high here early.
Yeah, Merriman again backing up that speed from the last time this series came to Weedsport, but also backing up some of the pace we've seen for Merriman in points of this comparative campaign, I should say. Last time out, very likely would have won if it wasn't for the contact coming out of turn 4 along the cushion towards that pit exit opening that sent him into the front stretch wall. Who knows where we're at championship-wise if that doesn't happen entering this one at this point. Now, it's the matter of seeing which drivers are able to try and battle for their own spots too.
Here we go. Heat race number 3 off of turn number 4 is underway. It's going to be Hayden Cardwell getting the jump over Austin Selman. Those 2 run 1-2 behind them. The fight is on for the 3rd position. J.D. Brown on the inside, Logan Rumsey on the outside, and Aiden Beerline's there as well. Almost some contact there as Selman came down the racetrack, cut off J.D. Brown, and that might cost Brown a spot because here comes Rumsey. Here comes Beerline 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Beerline squeezes it in to make the move and now looks for 3rd. Beerline preferring to wrap the bottom. Rumsey, though, weeble wobbles his way from the top. Bit of Bouncing and Bainey now amongst this battle, coming to 7 to go this time. Still side by side for third. Timothy Smith, now the first driver out. Contact behind us till he gets shuffled out of the groove.
This is going to be interesting. The race for the third and fourth position throughout this race. 4 cars. Only 2 of those positions will go on to the feature event. Side by side for fifth down the back straightaway. J.D. Brown on the inside. Timothy Smith on the outside. Also side by side for third. Give that spot to Logan Rumsey into turn number 1. Rumsey shuts the door on Aiden Bierlein. Bierlein running in the 4th spot. As you ride on board with him, he'll try and go to the inside and runs right next to that inside wall where we saw Bray Nyler get a little bit of trouble earlier on in his heat race, so got to be careful of that inside line as we've got 5 laps to go in heat race number 3.
Coming to 4 to go. Keep in mind, Tilly and Allen have collided at the back of the pack. It's just these drivers, plus Cardwell, who's a second up the road, who are left on the circuit. The question is, which drivers will get into the top 4? Bierlein struggling off the corner. Smith with the pull down the backstretch. Bierlein tries to wrap the inside, nearly scrubbing the wall. Timothy Smith is up to 4th.
Yeah, big move there from Timothy Smith, but he misses the bottom in 1 and 2 contact. They get together. Here comes J.D. Brown. They're going to wreck down the back straightaway. Aiden Bierlein and Timothy Smith both fighting for the bottom of the racetrack. They get together and crash with 2 laps to go. And J.D. Brown in the right place at the right time is up to 4th. And now we're watching the race for second because here comes Logan Rumsey into the picture.
Coming up to the white flag, now taking the white flag, in fact, is Austin Summon looking for good track position. He gets turned. Rumsey turns him around. There goes Brown. Where's Bierlein? Cardwell wins the heat. Bierlein trying to close up to both cars. Still has a shot. Out of the final corner, he can't get there. Rumsey and Sullivan still finish in the top 4.
There's going to be some hurt feelings after that one. The 41, there it is. You saw the 18 get into the 41 after the finish line. Your race winner by 3 seconds, Hayden Cardwell, because of all that contact and calamity, will drive out to a huge win. J.D. Brown, the lucky duck there in that one, finishes up second. Then Logan Rumsey, Austin Selman, Aiden Bierlein, Timothy Smith, Clayton Tilley, and David Allen, the finishing field in heat race number 3. Final heat race of the night is going to line up like this. On the pole, the number 85, it's Tyler Schell out of Millersburg, Pennsylvania. And to the outside of him, car number 33, it's Lane Stevens from Auburn, Washington.
Then the next driver is the one you to put a star next to. Drummondville, Quebec has become a hotbed for sim racing on iRacing for the dirt community. Bergeron starts from 3rd from there. Then it's Landon Cardoza, looking to have some good speed tonight. Also, amongst the Hanford, California club of drivers in the series.
Row 3 on the inside, it's going to be Mason Hannigan, car number 22 out of Pittsboro, Indiana. And to the outside of him, the number 91, that's going to be Ernie Williams Jr. He's from Lima, Ohio.
Rounding out the rows tonight. This time it's the number 50 machine. Clayton Tilley looking to close things out strong from Newcastle, Australia for the season with a couple rounds to go. Well, Carlin Cure looks to make a feature from Charlotte, North Carolina.
So 8 cars, 10 laps. 4 drivers will transfer on to the feature event, the final heat race of the night. After this, we will have 2 last chance qualifiers. Each of those races will be 12 laps in distance, and the top 2 out of each of those will tag the tail end of the field. Then tonight's feature event will be 35 laps, $300 to win, and set us up for the finale at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway next Monday night, where we will crown a champion, and $10,000 will go to one lucky driver here. Pace truck pulls off. We're ready for heat race number 4. Off of turn number 4, Tyler Schell is going to drive away with the early race lead down the front straightaway, straight to the bottom. Look at the move out of Bergeron, sliding by the 33 of Stevens, but Bergeron hits the wall. He's going to lose a spot to Landon Cardoza, and another one. Bergeron going backwards early.
3 wide for Bergeron now as a result as Davies backs out of it. Bergeron goes to the bottom, now getting lots of space from Stevens. Stevens gives so much space he wrecks himself with Ernie Williams Jr. Bergeron now is in 4th. Clayton Davies is not giving up right now easily on the bottom. Bad corner for the 50. The 12 is now to 4th clearly.
Yeah, Clayton Davies having a good run here. Started back on row number 4, now up into 5th, but loses some ground off the turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Bergeron, all eyes on him here in this one. Running in the 4th spot, looking to the inside of Landon Cardoza. Now trying to get by Mason Hannigan. Hannigan rolls the middle. Cardoza on the top side. Bergeron can't get by either of them. He'll drive it in deep, make it 3 wide for second off of turn number 4.
Hannigan still not giving things up easily though. For second, nearly cleared himself along Landon Cardoza's left side tires. Hannigan with a bad run down the back. Cardozo with a better run to the cushion this time. Hannigan getting the bottom to work fully. Bergeron checks up. Bergeron gets ahead for third for now. Will that be enough for Bergeron to clear? Yes, it does. And Davies is in the wall too.
Man, Davies was right there, Justin. If he didn't hit the wall, he had a shot at one of these transfer spots as Mason Hannigan has slipped back to fourth. Now Bergeron going to work on the 114 to Landon Cardozo. Cardozo having a breakout run here tonight at Weedsport, up in the second spot. Meanwhile, your race leader, Tyler Schell, enjoying a comfortable 1.1 second advantage with just 3 laps to go.
Bergeron looking for as many points as possible. Remember, it was Merriman who won his respective heat. Bergeron, if he stays in third, would lose 2 points to his advantage over Merriman. So Bergeron needs this spot from Cardozo. Cardozo is running away, though, coming to the white.
Yeah, we've seen Cardozo do some wild and crazy things throughout the season. Does not want to throw away a good second-place run here. Coming to the white flag, 1 to go. Tyler Schell, still a good lead up front. Cardozo in second, Bergeron in third. The race is on for fourth. Davies, after hitting the wall, has a shot here in the last corner to get by Mason Hannigan to the inside off of turn 4. Can't do it. Gets in the slick. Your race winner is going to be Tyler Schell. Landon Cardozo finishes up second. Bergeron third. Hannigan fourth. Then Davies, Cure, Stevens, and Ernie Williams Jr. will round out the field for the final heat race of the night. With that, it'll set us up for the first of 2 last chance qualifiers. Each of these races will have 8 drivers, 12 laps, and the top 2 to the back of the main event. On the pole, it's the 76 out of Londonderry, Sydney, Australia. It's Braden Chute, and to the outside, the 13A of Aiden Beerline from Woodford, Virginia will lead the field to green.
Ron Gray had good track position as he got shuffled out quickly out of the transfer spots. He starts row 2 alongside Timothy Smith.
Row number 3, the 69 of Shea Palo from Hanford, California. And to the outside from Perth, Western Australia, the 51 of Clayton Tilley starts from 6th.
7th spot in this one goes to Adam Elby, while David Allen, he rounds out the field after his incident in his respective heat and some heated discussions.
The field about to roll off from the starting grid here, getting ready for the first of 2 last chance qualifiers. But wow, just like that, the points lead going into the main event, Justin, now just 2 points, and the pressure is building. The pressure is on Cameron Merriman to perform here tonight. And wow, and with that, actually, that's going to probably line up James Edens and Alex Bergeron nose to tail for the feature event. So good opportunity here for Edens to maybe make some ground up as well.
Nearly nose to tail, in fact. Just double checking. Bergeron tentatively 12th, Edens 13th for the feature. So they will start close together. Merriman, keep in mind, would start at the very front and outside front row. So Merriman has a huge upper hand coming into the feature already. But here's the thing. Join the drivers in the feature. Still one more pace lap, and we have several fast drivers who could make it from this LCQ alone. Chute's been quick. Beerline nearly made it because of, well, this fight broke out down the backstretch. And then you have Powell and company who have also showed speed this season.
Yeah, I feel like Timothy Smith's one I'm going to be watching for here in this one, along with Adam Elby. But Elby's got to come from deep in this one on the final row, starting 7th alongside of David Allen. So those are kind of the 2 guys I'm going to be watching for here, Elby and Smith. I really like the speed I saw out of Smith in his heat race, but just couldn't quite get the job done. Only 2 move on. The green flag is out, and a good jump there for the 76 of Braden Chute. He's going to try and run away and hide from the Hornet's Nest behind him. The race is on for second. Beerline tries the top. Riley Gray on the bottom. And this racetrack's in great shape here midway through the LCS.
Lots of lines have popped up. The bottom, the middle, and the top are all rolling around the circuit. The question is which lines prove to be the best to try and get the top 2. Beerline's in second. Gray is holding off a Hornet's Nest of cars behind him. Gray prefers bottom up this corner. Contact a bit behind him.
Yeah, 1 car into the wall. It's Shea Palo. He's going to set the car down. Barely almost flips it over, but keeps on going. Falls to the tail end of the field. Meanwhile, your top 2 drivers have pulled away from the rest of the field. Rylan Gray and the number 86 of Timothy Smith trying to run him down. But you can see your top 2, Justin. They're running right through the middle part of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Top side in 3 and 4. Meanwhile, everybody else trying to find a lane that works for them. Adam Elby on the very inside of the racetrack in the 74. He's going to get by Timothy Smith and move up to 4th.
Yeah, Timothy Smith did not look comfortable coming from the bottom to the top, coming off of turn 4. Nearly knocked the wall down, in fact, to the point where Smith is trying the very top of the 129 machine. Not able to get that run fully on by quite yet to get clear of the 74 on back He is now cleared down the backstretch, though. Gray continuing to try and find a way to get back up the beer line, though, with 6 to go. Separation about 7/10.
A little bit of contact down the front straightaway. Timothy Smith came off the wall and got into the side of Adam Elby. Now Elby's clear. He's up into the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Aiden Bierlein has about 7/10 of a second lead over Rylan Gray right now as they work down the front straightaway. Still about 5 laps to go here, so Gray has time. If he doesn't make any mistakes, he might be able to catch up to Aiden Bierlein. As for Adam Elby and Timothy Smith, though, they've got to find something, and they've got to find it now if they want any shot at being in tonight's feature event. 3 to go that time by the starter stand.
Gray trying to find some time by setting it in hard. Nearly lost all the time, though, down the backstretch. Behind them, the battling continues with LB shutting the door on Smith with 3 laps to go up at the stand. Someone has to try and find a way to get some quick speed and fast. Gray needs to catch 6/10 on Bierlein in 2 laps to have a chance at a transfer spot.
Looks like Rylan Gray might have ran a faster lap that time by. He ran a 13.990. Actually, he was slower than Aiden Bierlein. Bierlein had a 13.935, so very close lap time to Bierlein. Definitely keeping the 06 at bay with the white flag coming out this time by. A huge lead for the 76 of Braden Shute. He has been flawless the entire LCQ. He'll head off into turns 3 and 4 for the final time on the top side of the racetrack and pick up the victory. Coming in second, it's going to be the 13 of Aiden Bierlein. Then the 06 of Rylan Gray, 1 spot short of the main event. Adam Elby in 4th, Timothy Smith in 5th, Clayton Tilley, David Allen, Shea Pallo will be your final finisher in LCQ number 1. With that, it'll set us up for our final preliminary main event of the night, the final LCQ. Here we go. On the pole, it's the number 91 of Felix Roy from Naperville, Quebec, Canada, in car number 91. And to the outside of him, number 50, Clayton Davies. He's out of Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia.
The next row features Chris Zabesky, who will look and try and find some skis that will launch his way into the transfer spots, with Carmen Kiro starting alongside from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Row 3, that's going to be Reading, Pennsylvania's Gregory LeMay in car number 99. And to the outside of him, it's Auburn, Washington's Lane Stevens driving car number 33.
Then, after technical issues in his heat, Jeremy St. Louis will try and regather things and have a shot to make the feature and show the speed from the province of Quebec in Canada. Ernie Williams Jr. was launched out of the ballpark. He rounds out the field.
So once again, 8 cars, 12 laps, top 2 moving on to the feature event here tonight, the final LCQ, getting ready for the penultimate race for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series here on iRacing.com. What I think this is the 5th or the 6th season of this series, Justin?
I'm sorry?
Is this the 6th iteration of this series or the 5th season that we've had?
We were approaching that mark where we've had in the past, for reference, champions from 2018, 19, 2020, 2020, 21. So season number 5 for those tuning in. But here's the thing. Remember, Bergeron has won 3 of those 4 previous season titles and has the chance to join elite company if he can win 4 straight.
Yeah, Tim Ryan is the only other guy to win a championship with this series. That was in the inaugural season back in 2018. But will we add a new name to the list come next week at the dirt track at Charlotte? We'll have to find out next Monday because we're still racing here tonight at Weedsport. Green flag is in the air for the final LCQ of the night. Felix Roy, I should say, is up front so far. Chris Saveski in second, but he's going to lose that spot down the back straightaway. Clayton Davies slides by him, takes over second. This LCQ might be a little more interesting than the last one. Oh my, Greg LeMay, he's going to go through the grass in turn 1, and he's done.
Well, I don't think that was the type of interesting you're referring to. LeMay is now out of the race because, well, he is stuck in the infield. Meanwhile, Roy and Davies 1-2. Saveski trying to hold on to third and does for now. Don't look now, but Saveski, he's got some pace. Can he get his way around? After all, he's relentless.
Yeah, we've got a race for the lead now. Clayton Davies going to take it away for a moment off of turn number 4, but Felix Roy's going to have the lead at the start-finish line. Davies slides in front of him into turn number 1, move Clayton Davies to the top spot. Felix Roy now on the bubble position as the 21 of Chris Sebeski trying to get up there and track these guys down. They continue to race for the lead off of turn number 4. They get single filed out back into turn number 1. Davies was so very fast in his heat race, but caught the wall on the exit of turn number 2 and took him out of a transfer spot. Davies has got to be picture perfect here in this one if he wants to make it into the feature. But really, I thought this one was going to be a little more interesting, Justin, but it's starting to turn out kind of like the last one. The top 2 pulling away from the rest of the field.
Don't get the commentator's curse on the field quite yet there, by the way. As we're coming up towards the halfway mark, keep in mind 6 laps to go, because here is Mr. Interesting, Lane Stevens with a different color palette tonight, looking to battle for 3rd spot now. We got alongside Foley with Sebeski through the last corner. This time, both stick to the bottom. Stevens, though, a better run on the bottom.
Yeah, now gets into the left rear tire right there, the 21 of Sebeski. Lane Stevens looks like he's got some good speed here down the back straightaway, trying to get by the number 21 of Sebeski for the 3rd spot. But while they're doing that, the 91 of Felix Roy is pulling away. 3 to go, and this LCQ flew by as the race for 3rd continues on as you ride on board with Lane Stevens up alongside of Sebeski down the back straightaway. He's going to have the 3rd spot.
Lane Stevens gets punted away by Sebeski off the line. Here comes Cure to take advantage. Move Colin Cure up to 3rd. Here's the problem. They need 1 second and 2.5 laps, and they are busy fighting each other for a non-transfer spot.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out well for Carlin Cure and Lane Stevens, but they're putting on a good show for the fans watching at home. Now Cure goes to the bottom, slides it up to the top, tags the cushion. Meanwhile, Lane Stevens does the opposite. He ran it on the top and turned it down the hill off the bottom. As they continue to race for the 3rd spot, give it to Stevens? No, give it to Cure at the line. The white flag is in the air.
The top 2 way off in the distance, but it's not over for 3rd. Davies, meanwhile, has been dominant in this LCQ. Out of 3 and 4, Clayton Davies wins LCQ 2. Felix Roy will get the final spot on the feature.
2 seconds behind Clayton Davies is Carlin Cure in 3rd. 4th spot goes to Chris Sebeski, that's correct. 4th spot went to Lane Stevens, then Chris Sebeski, Ernie Williams Jr., Jeremy St. Louis, and Gregory LeMay will round out the field. With that, all of the preliminary action is complete, and we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come right back, and when we do, it's the feature event lineup for round number 9 of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series World Championship from here at Weedsport Speedway.
Dirt Vision is home to all the greatest shows on dirt. World of Outlaws sprints, late models, and Super Dirt Car Series. You also get Dirt Car Summer Nationals and weekly shows from America's top tracks. Dirt Vision has the best all-around live coverage with flexible options for casual and hardcore fans. No commitments, cancel anytime, apps for most devices. Get your Fast Pass now at dirtvision.com. Every week, Dirt Vision brings you the best racing coverage from America's top tracks. You get high-speed thrills at the Big Half Miles at Williams Grove, where the Pennsylvania Posse roams, and Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world. There's also wheel-to-wheel action at Attica Raceway Park, Jacksonville Speedway's quarter-mile bull ring, and the tight turns at Huset's. Sprint cars are the main event, but there's plenty of other grassroots racing to satisfy every fan. See local drivers working to become the stars of tomorrow. Williams Grove, Knoxville, Attica, Jacksonville, Huset's. These tracks make up the weekly racing family, all season long on Dirt Vision.
Welcome back to round number 9 here for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series World Championship here on iRacing.com. Chase Rodman, Justin Prince alongside, and we are now ready for tonight's starting grid for the 35-lap main event here from Weedsport Speedway. Here we go on the pole here tonight, looking for back-to-back victories here with the series out of Chesney, South Carolina. It's the car number 33 driven by Evan C. And to the outside of him, driver trying to become just the third person to win the championship here with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series next week. He's got a good shot to have some good momentum heading into that race. From Ellicott City, Maryland, it's the 17 of Cameron Merriman.
Keep in mind, one of the fast drivers throughout the past few weeks has been the unmissile. That is Hayden Cardwell from Knoxville, Tennessee. While rounding out the top 4, Millersburg, Pennsylvania-based driver Tyler Schell.
Row 3, the number 5, it's going to be young Braden Eiler from Franklin, Pennsylvania. And to the outside of him, the 127, the former late model series champion Blake Majulis from Asheville, New York.
Row number 4 tonight features another California-based competitor. This one from Bakersfield. It's J.D. Hollywood Brown starting alongside number 114 machine. That is Landon Cardoza.
Row 5, it's going to be the 00 of Kendall Tucker from Mount Airy, North Carolina. And to the outside of him, the 25, Tyler Ducharme, coming to us from Castleton, Vermont.
Manchester, Pennsylvania-based driver Logan Rumsey nearly got involved in a wreck that could have sent him out of the feature. Instead, he'll start alongside Quebec-based driver Alex Bergeron.
Row 7, the 52 of James Edens, currently third in the point standings from Santa Rosa, California. To the outside of him, the 48, Dylan Yeager from Hamilton, New Jersey.
The next row features the number 18 machine, that being Austin Sullivan, while the Little Hurricane, Mason Hannigan, starts 16th.
Row number 9, 76, Braden Shue from Londonderry, Sydney, Australia, and the 50 of Clayton Davies from Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia.
And the last of the drivers tonight, those competitors being Aiden Beerline, Phillips Roy won their respective LCQs. They start at the back of the field in row 10.
That is your 20-car starting lineup for 35 laps around the Weedsport Speedway for round number 9, the second to last race before we crown a champion next week at Charlotte. The 3 championship contenders, Cameron Merriman starting 2nd, Alex Bergeron starting 12th, and James Eden starting 13th, enter the night just 19 points separated at the top of the Outlaw point standings. Who will set themselves up nicely for a $10,000 paycheck next week? We're about to find out. Pace truck is off. Here we go. 35 laps around Weedsport Speedway off turn number 4. We are green.
And a great launch for Evan C. to the bottom of the track. Merriman tries to quickly get alongside of the outside. Can't. Hayden Cardwell takes advantage for second. Move all 3 red, white, and black machines into the top 3, but Cardwell gets a tap from Merriman.
And Merriman's going to go right back by him, takes back the 2nd spot. Remember, Merriman last season, he's the only driver to ever win a series race at Weedsport Speedway. He's trying to do it again here tonight, closing up on the 33 of Evan C., one of the rookie drivers who's had an incredible campaign, 2 victories, trying to make it 3 here tonight at Weedsport.
Top 3 all single filed out. Keep in mind, first side-by-side, Eiler and Ducharme, they get settled out. 3 wide in the Hornet's Nest. Meanwhile, one of the drivers backing out of it is J.D. Brown. Brown nearly getting spun by Brandon Shute. He's been hit instead by Clayton Davies. No caution, we stay green.
Alex Bergeron now up to the 9th position, getting by Blake Majulis down the front straightaway. Now a race for the lead up front. Here comes Merriman to the inside, side by side down the back straightaway. Cameron Merriman tries to throw the slider. He'll roll the middle. Evan C. still going to have the race lead. He'll take the lead on lap number 6. Evan C. has led them all so far, but Merriman hits the bottom, nearly gets into the infield wall. Great race up front because here comes Hayden Cardwell making a 3-car battle up front.
Everyone now moving up towards the top line once more. Merriman's shuffle back still to 2nd spot. Teammates behind him battling for 4th and 5th position. Keep in mind, we took a little peek at the championship rivals. Bergeron is still in 12th. James Edens is up to 10th, but the caution is out. And we're under yellow. Clayton Davies making some friends, or maybe not, with J.D. Brown.
Yeah, J.D. Brown was the cause of the caution here in this one. We'll take a look at the replay, and wow, just the slightest bit of contact. This goes to show you, Justin, how on edge these guys are. Just a slight little tap to the back bumper sends the 14 of J.D. Brown around in turn number 1.
J.D. Brown definitely didn't get any breaks in the first few laps here. Yeah, right there, just trying to stick to the bottom. Davies ends up going in with the momentum, helps him around, and we're under caution Keep in mind, Landon Cardozo through all that somehow lost a lap, it appears, so he is the only driver 1 lap down. I don't believe he took the green, in fact. Yes, he started from the pits.
Okay, so Cardozo was supposed to start inside the top 10, does not make the start there. Update on your championship contenders. Merriman obviously up in second. James Edens is 11th. Alex Bergeron is 12th. But the biggest mover in this one so far, and a guy that showed a ton of speed in his heat race, the 48 of Dylan Yeager in 7 laps, 14th to 9th. Also, Tyler Ducharme, who has told me on a couple of times that this is his favorite racetrack. He's up to 6th place after starting 10th.
Yeah, and Tyler Ducharme is finding momentum at the right time. I will give him credit there, Chase, because he came into the final couple rounds of the season on the relegation bubble line, and he's kind of given himself some space now with how he's performed the past 2 races. Let's put it that way so far.
Well, the pace truck is off. We've still got a long ways to go here in this one at Weedsport. What a jump for the 33 of Evan C. Puts about 5 car lengths over the 17 of Merriman and the 07 of Hayden Cardwell down the back straightaway. Everybody trying to find their way through. Tyler Ducharme trying to take another spot away. This time from the 5 of Braden Eiler. Can't do it down the front straightaway, but Ducharme's got a hot rod here tonight. Oh, your leader's into the wall. Evan C. hits the wall. Merriman goes by. Cardwell goes by. New race leader, it's Cameron Merriman. Caution's
on
out.
his own as the caution indeed is out. Well, that will allow some people to get some breath back, but it's Blake Majulis who brings the caution. And he was battling with Edens until same corner as the mistake from C. Majulis went straight into the wall. Both of them did the same thing, albeit the 127 took it 2 steps further.
Yeah, he puts this car upside down here and almost takes it out of the ballpark. But if we can run that replay back one more time and go into the same corner with the 48 of Dylan Yeager, this is something we need to watch for as well, Justin. On these starts into turn 1, if we can pull it up, the 48 of Yeager win to turn 1 and hit that left front tire off the inside wall, which we've seen happen to a couple drivers here tonight, including Braden Eiler, which is why he lost the heat race earlier. He hit the inside wall in turn 1. Yeager just did that, and he was lucky that that did not cause any problems there. That inside wall will jump out and get you here at Weedsport.
You're absolutely correct, and we'll take a look at the replay at what you're specifically mentioning. He was behind Rumsey through all of this, keep in mind. And you'll see right in the slide, you've seen how important it is to get down right there. And here's the thing. If we stay green, that may have been a little bit worse for Yeager. Here's the thing. Majulis had his incident at the same time on the outside line. So for Dylan Yeager, at the very least, that caution may have saved him from potentially losing a spot or 2 down the back or in the next lap.
Yeah, that would have killed his momentum big time there, hitting the wall. So we got to keep an eye on drivers doing that. I mean, he hit it just the right way to where it wasn't going to cause any, significant damage or really take him out of the race there. But any harder, and that would have really affected him. But Evan C., by virtue of that caution coming out, he is the race leader back up front. A big gift there for the 33 cars. We head back off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. The 33 of C is leading it. Merriman in second, and Cardwell looking to the outside, trying to get by Merriman into turns 3 and 4.
Merriman indeed wrapping that bottom. Remember, he was able to stick that very well last year, and is doing so right now in the 17, sliding back up to the top for the exit. Cardwell, meanwhile, are on board the lower right-hand corner of your screen. He prefers the cushion. Remember how good he has been on that line throughout his career. Tower Shell losing ground in turn, along with Eiler and company, as they try and follow the 07.
Yeah, Cardwell, like we've talked about several times, doesn't matter what track it is, he is one of the best on iRacing when it comes to running the cushion. As I say that, the 17 of Merriman goes up there to take that line away. Evan C., after that contact into the wall, has kind of cleaned up his driving here and is not making any mistakes, pulling away from Merriman. And it's not like Merriman has to win this race, Justin. He just needs to finish in front of the 12 and put the pressure on Bergeron here. As you see Bergeron battling right there with the 41 of Rumsey.
And you have to wonder when the patience levels, if they haven't already gone away, are going to go away for Bergeron, knowing you've got 21 laps to go this time at the stripe, passing on by. Right now for Bergeron, he has been stuck in 11th and 12th position since the start. And now you have that in front of you.
That was a close call there. Bergeron had to slide by to miss the 0-0 of Kendall Tucker, who had a big mistake down the back straightaway. Another mistake there as Hayden Cardwell makes a mistake. And now a race for the lead up front. The 17 of Merriman from out of nowhere slides in front of Evan C. And you've got a new race leader down the front straightaway. Merriman leads on lap 17 right at the halfway point of this race. So it's now Merriman, C, Eiler, and Shell as Cardwell continues to drop out of the running order. He falls to 6th as Tyler Ducharme goes by for 5th.
Keep in mind the following corner after the mistake you referred to with Cardwell, he hit the inside wall in turns 3 and 4. That may affect the 07 as well now. But for Merriman, he was able to just take advantage of Evan C. having a bad run off of turn 2. Crossed him up, and now he's running in off and away. Quickest driver by 3/10 a lap right now. Here's a look at the battle for 3rd. Eiler's trying to reel on NC to take away 2nd. Tyler Shell, Tyler Ducharme and company also still within close range.
Yeah, Braden Eiler looks fast here midway through this race, 15 laps to go. But we talked about Merriman being the fastest car on the racetrack with a big lead. We remember back one Monday ago, it was this same story at Fairbury Speedway. Merriman hit the wall coming to the white flag while leading the race and flipped over. This time he's going to be taking it a lot more cautiously, I would say, as the race for 2nd is on down the front straightaway. Braden Eiler pushing the 33 of Evan C into turn number 1. He'll try and work the bottom down the back straightaway. Braden Eiler coming on strong here midway through this race. He might have one of the best cars on the speedway. He goes up to the inside of C, but can't take the pass away, can't take 2nd away.
C definitely not wanting to give this up at all, and now C's in the wall. C just bounced off the wall, and that swaps 2nd away. Eiler fully nearly on by. C still defending though on the outside groove throughout all that. Keep in mind, you've seen the backdrop. Cardwell is back up to 5th. C again nearly knocks the wall down. Now 2 of the Outlaws up Simsport machines trying to tandem together with 11 to go.
Yeah, 2 teammates right there, the 5 and the 85. Eiler and Shell running for elbows up Simsport, trying to find a way by the team PLR number 33 of Evan C. to put themselves onto the podium here tonight and in those paying positions. Here comes Eiler. He'll try and roll the bottom in turns 3 and 4. He's going to have the 2nd spot for a moment, but C's going to have it at the start-finish line. They nearly bang wheels midway down the front straightaway, and Braden Eiler's got 2nd down the backstretch.
Will we hold on to it, though, is the question. C is going hard into the cushion through 3 and 4. Eiler indeed does. In fact, Tyler Shell also has taken a spot away to get the podium as well. Under 10 laps to go. Reference, the points leader entering tonight, Alex Bergeron, is still stuck in 10th. If things hold, Merriman becomes the points leader.
And he will be the points leader by a wide margin. Last time by Cameron Merriman, a 3-second lead over Braden Eiler. He's got to know he's got a big gap here, and he's still taking it easy and pulling away from the field. Merriman doing exactly what he needed to do here tonight to put the pressure on the 3-time series champion heading into the final round at Charlotte next week. Eiler still 2nd, Shell in 3rd, 4th is Cardwell, and 5th is Evan C. And C's car on this long run has really fallen off the pace. He's into the clutches of Tyler Ducharme and the 48 of Dylan Yeager, who started 14th on the field. He's trying to go by for 6th and 5th down the back straightaway. 3 wide for 5th.
Just up the road, but the caution is out. Caution flag is out. And this changes everything as Landon Cardoza, who was a lap down, mind you, still, bounced off of Felix Roy and spun out in 1 and 2.
We'll have to take a look at the replay here as the 114 with a full head of steam heading into turn number 1. Just drove it in there and got a little bit too hot into the corner, got into Felix Roy. There you see the aftermath of it. Here's the beginning. Cardoza getting around Kendall Tucker. Remember, Cardoza, like you said, was a lap down driving by lead lap cars. He definitely had a fast machine, but a lap down getting into one of the lead lap cars is never good. So caution is out there for Cardoza with just 5, make it 6 laps to go. And the guy that did not want to see that one was Merriman, who was enjoying a full 3-second lead at the time.
Yeah, Merriman was checked out. All Merriman had to do was don't do what happened last week, and he would have potentially ran off to the sunset. And now he's going to have to fight hard because Eiler's going to be hungry for a feature win. Shell's going to be hungry for a feature win. Cardwell's going to be hungry for a feature win to improve his position coming in inside the top 6 in the point standings. And oh, by the way, Bergeron's probably going to be charging very hard to try and jump by as many drivers as possible. So in our words, fasten your seatbelts. It's about to get bumpy.
6 laps to go. Cameron Merriman trying to hang on to the feature win here tonight at Weedsport. Gets a great launch off of turn number 4 to try and get away from the number 5 of Braden Eiler. Eiler looked very fast on that last green flag run, but was just too far away when he got to second to try and track down Cameron Merriman. 5 to go, and look at the move from Cardwell to go by 2 cars down the front straightaway. Cardwell's back to second.
1 car in the wall, though. Caution is out. It's Tyler Ducharme. And Ducharme just came back down into Felix Roy as he escaped from the wall. Caution out again, and we'll re-rack him and stack him.
We'll have to watch the replay and see what happens here. They were 3 wide down the front straightaway. Ducharme was giving all the room he could. He actually ran up on the outside wall, as you'll see right here. They went 3 wide down the front straightaway, and Ducharme hitting the wall right there, trying to stay off Evan C., and then gets into the right rear and sends him around. And Ducharme, who is having a phenomenal run here at his favorite track tonight, will drop to the tail end of the field and give up a top 10 position, nearly in the top 5. He was running 6th at the time.
Yeah, that's going to really hurt for Ducharme. Let's put that in perspective, because we talked about this a little bit tonight when it came to the point standings. Ducharme had gained a lot of ground in terms of the transfer spots to make sure they're top 15. Ducharme's going to lose a little bit of ground with that. But he does have some luck, though, on his side, because Greg LeMay, 15th, did not make it on in. Aiden Bierlein, 16th, has not had the prettiest of runs. In fact, he's going to be starting right near on by him as a result and has a chance to get the spot back. So in other words, for Tyler Ducharme, big picture-wise, doesn't necessarily take him out of the top 15. That's the bright side.
Yeah, Ducharme, and he's probably going to pass a couple cars here on this last restart. We are going to have 3 to go here, it looks like, when we take the green flag. But man, how about the speed from Cardwell there on that restart from out of nowhere? Went by 2 cars, and if I'm Merriman, I'm going to be a little bit worried here. There's no doubt in my mind Cardwell's going to race him clean, but he definitely wants to win this main event, Justin. And if I was Merriman, I'd be a little bit worried. Do not push the issue if I'm the 17 car. If you have to, settle for second, I think.
Yeah, at this point, Merriman again is in a very comfortable spot. Every point matters, as we talked about, yes, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if you end up not finishing the race and you don't get those points, so you have to think of that with Merriman on the gas.
Green flag is back in the air. 3 to go. Not a good start from Merriman. He gets hit by Cardwell. They make contact at the turn number 1. Merriman slipped back to the 3rd spot. He got in the slick and spun the tires on the restart, and Cardwell got into him. Off of turn number 4, Merriman trying to fight back for second to the inside of Shell. White flag the next time by. What happens here with 2 to go?
Well, this gets interesting. Bergeron is still in 10th, keep in mind. Merriman bobbling around the bottom of the track. White flag is out. Race is now official. Hayden Cardwell looking for another feature win of the season.
Down the back straightaway for the final time on the final restart. The 07 of Hayden Cardwell is going to be the feature winner tonight at Weedsport. Second to Tyler Shell, and 3rd at the line. Braden Eiler is going to get by Cameron Merriman. Eiler sneaks by him by 0.03 of a second at the finish. Merriman will finish up in 4th. Dylan Yeager 5th. James Edens in 6th. Then Evan C., Logan Rumsey, Alex Bergeron, and Austin Semmelman. Wow, that last restart was just the thorn in the side for Cameron. Merriman goes from the lead to 4th and gives up some huge championship points there, Justin.
The first response from Cardwell in sim, I'm sorry, Cameron, I didn't mean to do that. And now, that makes things a little bit tighter for the championship heading to the finale. But either way, Cardwell has the best launch from second by anybody all day and wins it.
Wowzers. Hayden Cardwell, your winner tonight over Tyler Shell and Braden Eiler. 4th spot, Cameron Merriman. 5th, Dylan Yeager. 6th, James Eden. 7th, Evan C. 8th, Logan Rumsey. 9th, Alex Bergeron. And 10th, Austin Semmelman. 11th through 20th looked like this. It was going to be Braden Shute in 11th, Kendall Tucker in 12th, Mason Hannigan 13th, 14th, Clayton Davies, 15th, Aiden Bierlein, 16th, Felix Roy, 17th, Tyler Ducharme, 18th, Landon Cardoza, 19th, J.D. Brown, and in 20th, it was Blake Majulis. Now, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back and talk to our top 3 finishers here tonight and hear what they had to say about this crazy race here tonight at Weedsport Speedway.
Dirt Vision is home Listen to all the greatest shows on dirt. World of Outlaws sprints, late models, and Super Dirt Car Series. You also get Dirt Car Summer Nationals and weekly shows from America's top tracks. Dirt Vision has the best all-around live coverage with flexible options for casual and hardcore fans. No commitments, cancel anytime, apps for most devices. Get your Fast Pass now at dirtvision.com. Every week, Dirt Vision brings you the best racing coverage from America's top tracks. You get high-speed thrills at the big half miles at Williams Grove, where the Pennsylvania Posse roams, and Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world. There's also wheel-to-wheel action at Attica Raceway Park, Jacksonville Speedway's quarter-mile bull ring, and the tight turns at Huset's. Sprint cars are the main event, but there's plenty of other grassroots racing to satisfy every fan. See local drivers working to become the stars of tomorrow. Williams Grove, Knoxville, Attica, Jacksonville, Huset's. These tracks make up the weekly racing family, all season long on Dirt Vision.
Welcome back to Weedsport Speedway for continuing coverage of round number 9 of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series from here on iRacing.com. My name is Chase Rodman with Justin Prince alongside, just witnessing an absolutely bonkers race here tonight for the penultimate round before we head off to crown a champion next week at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Before we can do that, we're going to talk to our winner from tonight's race in dramatic fashion. His name is Hayden Cardwell from Knoxville, Tennessee. Hayden, what a wild, wild finish to that one. I know you had no intentions of getting into the side of Merriman, especially with all of the things going on with the championship. Looked like he kind of just got in the slick on the restart. You didn't, got good grip off the corner, and you guys just kind of met in the middle there.
No, man, yeah, I had no intentions of, even being a part in this championship, before we even started the race. I told the boys that I didn't even want to be around him. I was starting third and he was second, and probably the first 20 laps I had a faster car, and I let off the gas multiple times. I even half spun in 1 and 2 there, about to kill myself, fell back to the 5th or 6th one, and I was really had a good car all night. Logan Rumsey really hooked us up here, and on that restart from my advantage point, what I seen was he got the grip. And he got tight, and he almost drilled the wall. And like you said, Rod, I was just down on the bottom moisture. And by the time he already turned back into the corner, I was already there, and I was trying to let off the gas, but it just wasn't enough time to react for me.
So it sounds like you had a fast car the entire race, was trying to stay out of the championship battle with Merriman, Edens, and Bergeron. And then all of a sudden, it looked like with about 4 or 5, maybe 6 laps to go, we were watching Merriman up front, and all of a sudden you got by Shell and Eiler in one corner. What did you figure out there those last couple of laps to get you up there and put yourself in contention for this race win?
Yeah, on that restart, I was really wanting to caution just to see what would happen, but when we came out the back straightaway, Shell kind of slid up to the top there, and I knew I could just stuff it in hard in the bottom. And if you can get your left front as far down as you can here on turn 3, you can get a really good run just where you can slide up out of 4, and I was able to clear them both, and that was I think that was one of the winning moves. I didn't make the pass for the lead there, but I was able to put myself in contention for another caution which allowed me to get by Cam. But that was kind of just like kind of fell in the right place. They kind of went high, and I was able just to swing by on the bottom.
Your second win of the season here. Looks like your 5th top 5 finish. Obviously, you've had great speed all season long, and I feel like if it wasn't for the mishap at Volusia at the season opener not making the show, we could be talking about a 4-car scrap for this championship fight with your name included in that. Thinking back to Volusia, I know that iRacing isn't exactly your full-time deal anymore with a real-life race car, but thinking back to Volusia, you got to be having a little bit of regret not making that show and maybe, being in contention for 10 grand next week.
Yeah, no doubt. It always comes into play. We just aren't really prepared. Like you said, we don't really get on here as much as I would like to anymore. I still race the big shows when I can. I just don't have much practice to really get on here and be perfect, as you guys seen last week in my heat race. We fenced it, and we ended up wrecking the rain. And, just like Knoxville, I think we had the car to win there, and the deal with Bergeron happened. But, if they have this still next year, we'll be more prepared at the beginning of the season because, I feel like every year we turn it up here at the end. And I feel like we could have more than 2 wins to show this year, but, lucky enough to come in with 2 this year. And we'll move on to the final race at Charlotte and see if we can beat the boards down there.
Well, Hayden Cardwell getting the job done here tonight from Weedsport Speedway. Hayden, congratulations.
Yeah, I just want to thank all the guys at Slick Sim Sport. They do so much for me. I never get to thank them at all. Logan Rumsey, I got on about 6 o'clock tonight. He said, try these sets. They were perfect. Didn't change a thing on them all night. Everybody helps Dustin for the spot. David, he wasn't here tonight, but, Dustin for all he does. Apologies to Cam, if he thinks I did that on purpose, definitely did not. So, we'll move on to Charlotte and see what happens with the points battle.
Hayden Cardwell, your winner for the second time this season tonight at the Weedsport Speedway in second, and his best run of the season, the 85 of Tyler Schell, putting on a good show for the Pennsylvania fans here tonight. He's talking to Justin Prince.
Yes, indeed, and Tyler, talk us through your night because it was somewhat quiet for the most part, but it was also a very difficult race, it seemed, with how things were faring with the sparring match that seemed to happen amongst you guys for 5th on Ford.
Yeah, it was honestly, like you said, pretty much. I felt quiet. I felt like I was just an outcast to kind of everybody else battling, and once I got battling, I'd get to them and just be kind of there if they messed up or made a mistake. And I was not expecting that on that last caution, last restart for Hayden and Cam to get together. I was expecting just a smooth, just kind of stay in line, and when I saw that happen, I didn't know it was going to happen. Kind of panicked and just went to the high line and tried to let them settle out below and just not wreck.
And of course, the past couple weeks have been very up and down. The whole season has been up and down for you compared to our campaigns. For example, we talked about, I remember Cedar Lake, knowing the speed there, and you didn't even make the feature in that one after having a dominant car the last entry there. So what has it been like trying to deal with the roller coaster of a back and forth this year?
It's a big mind game. Just gotta keep your head in it. Just kind of clean slate every week and just try your best, and whatever happens, happens. It's been first half of the year was a lot of bad luck, other than the first week, like week 2 through 5. Just got caught up at wrong place, wrong time, but hey, that's racing. So having a good, strong second half, and let's see where we can end up in the points.
Especially since you did enter tonight top 10 in the points. In fact, Tyler, in turn, what's kind of the mindset now for the dirt track of Charlotte, knowing what's at stake for the top runners, but also knowing what's at stake for you with being inside the top 10?
Just kind of don't have a DNF, just qualify. Try to qualify good. I feel like qualifying is everything in here. Qualifying is everything everywhere. If you get put back in the middle of the pack, hornet's nest, that's where all the bad stuff happens, and you just have the wrong place, wrong time. So, just hopefully we can get a nice qualifying lap in, and it puts us into our own hands and just run clean.
Congratulations on the run again, Tyler.
Yep. Just like to thank you guys for putting this on one of Outlaws, and then I was up Sim Sport, a good run for Braden, another 2-3 for us. I think it's the second of the year, and Press Evolution Company, Moreland Tires, School of Sim Racing, Jets Logistics, and Roofco.
Once again, congratulations, Tyler. Braden Eiler came home in third tonight. He also had a hard-fought battle for much of this race. This time, he's with Chase.
Yeah, very good run tonight for Braden Eiler, his 6th top 5 finish of the season in 9 races. Braden, your car looks strong, especially towards the end of the race there, and then Hayden kind of slid by both you and Tyler there at the end. Do you think if he didn't do that and you guys did get that last restart, you might have had something there for Merriman?
Maybe. I misread the situation. I figured the bottom was going to be the way in the restart, and it just wasn't at all, so I was kind of a fish out of water there for that first lap and that restart, and I finally got my momentum, but it just takes so long to get the top built up to where it's quick enough to compete. So they were able to take advantage for a little bit, and Hayden was getting a little aggressive and made some moves, and we had to slow up a little bit, but we ended up getting lucky enough at the end to sneak by Merriman for the podium.
How tough is it here at this track, especially turns 1 and 2? We talked about it on the broadcast a couple times here tonight. It seems like there's just so many different options, so many different lines that guys run, especially on that end of the racetrack. What was your decision-making process for that? Were you just kind of committed to the top? Were you trying everything, seeing what was working, or what?
Basically anything that I wasn't going to interfere with anybody else, because it really gets dangerous whenever, somebody's running the slider line, other guys are on the cut down, somebody's in the bottom, or somebody might be running the fence, and eventually at some point you're going to end up meeting up with somebody, and 2 wrecked race cars, 2 disappointed drivers, it never really works out great. So I was just kind of trying to mind my own business and take what we could get. It stings a little bit that I let that heat race fun go away, because I feel like we could have been a contender for the win there, but we'll have a good points day here and move on to the final week of the season.
And speaking of a good points day, that's going to solidly put you in 4th place in the championship standings heading into the final race. That's good enough for a $1,000 check if you can hang on there at the end of Charlotte. That's pretty awesome. Were you expecting to be 4th in the points when the season started?
After weeks 2 through 5 or 2 through 4, no. We had basically the motto seems to be checkers or wreckers, because it's 6 top 5s and 3 DNFs. So I wasn't really expecting to bounce back that quick or even that well. I think especially even Eldora or Kokomo, Bristol I wasn't very good either anyways, but if Eldora or Kokomo didn't happen, I think we could have been in the mix a little bit more for the top 3. But I definitely wasn't expecting to be where we are right now.
Well, Braden, a phenomenal season with the exception of those DNFs. You've been on point, seems like every single week. Nice job on the 3rd place run, and excited to see you cap it off next week at Charlotte.
Yeah, I just got to thank everybody at Elbows Up, Wicked Brands, Wicked Cushion, Roofco Indy, Dano Seasonings, BS Airlines, Jessup Logistics, Overwall Photography, and huge thanks to AJ for all the help he does for us setup-wise. We put on quite a bit of work throughout the week here and there, and try to get what's best for everybody.
Braden Eiler finishes up in the 3rd position here tonight at Weedsport Speedway during round number 9 of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. As we take a look at the schedule right there tonight, January 24th, that race is complete, and that leaves just one more. Next Monday night, the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway, where we will crown a champion. But will it be a new champion? Because Justin Prince, we've got the unofficial points. Cameron Merriman leads by just 13 heading into the final race of the season.
And a big 13-point advantage, keep in mind, putting the extra pressure on Bergeron. Keep in mind, Bergeron has been very dominant in the past at the dirt track at Charlotte in multiple different types of cars. But the thing's going to be, he really, for the most part, Chase, in past seasons, has really had the advantage coming in. Has he really had to play catch-up like this? Not too much, like we're seeing for this finale this season. Cameron Merriman has a great chance to come away with the title. The thing that's going to be the interesting mark is, there's also the chance Merriman could do that win, get the title without a feature win victory, which would absolutely be huge as well, to show the consistency Merriman's had. Both he and Bergeron average finishes 6th this year.
That consistency is always key when it comes to winning a championship. Just imagine what would have happened if Merriman did not crash while leading at Fairbury. That might be an even bigger gap heading into the final race of the season. But here tonight for round number 9, Our coverage has come to an end. We want to thank Arjuna Kankipati. My name is Chase Rodman. Also got to thank Tyler Maxon, Justin Prince. It has been a phenomenal season, and we will cap it off next week when all dirt roads lead to Charlotte. We will crown a champion. Will it be a new champion, or will it be a 4-time series champion? You'll have to tune in next Monday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time, right here on all of iRacing's social media platforms and Dirt Vision. We'll see you guys next week.